Hello all, I am the Hole Phantom, and for today we're going to be going over my top 10 picks of Mew cards in the trading card game. Starting off at number 10, we have the original Mew card, a promo from the Wizards of the Coast set. This card was the only Generation 1 Pokemon that was not released in the main set, and can only be gotten as a promo card. It came with 2 attacks, Psy-Wave and Devolution Beam. The first attack needed 1 Psychic Energy to deal 10 damage times the number of energy cards on the opposing Pokemon, and this attack was primarily used to counter the popular Mewtwo. As it was weak to Psychic Pokemon, so if Mewtwo was fully powered up to attack, Mew could knock it out with a single energy and a plus power. And its second attack, Devolution Beam, wasn't really used all that much because there weren't many evolved Pokemon that were being played in the format. Though it was pretty handy against the 2 main evolution-focused decks, Blastoise and Wigglytuff, and it could even be used alongside Aerodactyl, as its prehistoric power could prevent other Pokemon from evolving. This Mew was mostly used as a tech card against either Mewtwo or against evolved Pokemon, giving it some versatility, though it wasn't really used much overall, and it was mostly wanted just as a collector's item. At number 9, we have Mew from the Southern Islands set. This card was released as part of a special set to promote the 2nd generation Pokemon, and it came with a single attack, which was Rainbow Wave. It needed a Psychic Energy, and would then allow the player to choose an energy type attached to Mew, aside from colorless, and deal 20 damage to all the opponent's Pokemon of that type. Now at a glance, this seems pretty restrictive, as Mew could only hit Psychic Pokemon, or else it needed to be paired with another type of energy. But the great thing about it was that it could also be used as Rainbow Energy, which counted as every type, meaning that Mew could hit almost every Pokemon, except for colorless. And this card went pretty well with Pichu, as both their attacks did similar damage and could be used to deal with Pokemon that tried to hide on the bench. However, the drawback was that Mew only came with the measly 30 HP, the lowest in the game, and Rainbow Energy placed a damage counter on her Pokemon when it was attached, meaning that Mew only had 20 HP when it was powered up. But this could be addressed by giving it a Focus Band, as it could protect a Pokemon from being knocked out by getting heads on a coin flip. At number 8, we have another promo Mew from the Wizards of the Coast. This was the second Mew promo, as it still had not been released as part of the main set at that point. It came with a single attack and a Pokemon power. The attack was Psyshock, which needed 1 Psychic Energy to deal 10 damage, and according to the English card text, it would confuse the opponent, though it was actually a mistranslation, and it should have read Paralyzed instead of Confused. This was fixed in the card's reprint in the Evolution set. Mew's best feature, however, was its Pokemon power, Neutral Shield, which completely protected it from evolved Pokemon, which was a very useful power during the 2nd generation, as the meta had shifted toward more evolution-focused decks. Mew was typically seen alongside either Dark Alakazam or Donphan, as both of them had attacks that switched them out after dealing damage with either Teleport Blast or Rapid Spin. So if the player was going up against one of the many strong evolved Pokemon at the time, such as Crobat, Blaine's Arcanine, or Feraligatr, Dark Alakazam or Donphan would attack and then switch out to Mew, as the opposing Pokemon would be completely powerless against it. This style of deck also ran Dark Vileplume to shut down all trainer cards with its Hay Fever Pokemon power to protect Mew from Double Gust. Although it wasn't used as an attacker, Mew had the ability to completely wall opponents, making it a great partner for its teammates. The next 2 cards are going to be discussed together as they're so similar. At number 7 we have Mew from the Pop 5 series of cards, and at number 6 we have Mew Goldstar from Dragon Frontiers. Both of these cards were Delta Species cards, meaning that they were alternate types to their usual Psychic, with one being a Fire type and the other being a Water type. The Fire type came with 2 attacks, the first being Copy, which needed 1 colorless energy to then, wouldn't you know it, copy one of the opponent's attacks, provided that it had the correct energy to use it. The second attack was Extra Draw, which needed 1 Fire Energy to search the deck for up to 2 energy cards and then attach them to Mew, if the opponent had any EX Pokemon on their side. Mew was primarily used for its first attack, as being able to copy the opponent's attacks was useful, especially when going up against stronger Pokemon. Since it still needed the correct energy to copy the attacks, it went well in Delta Species decks that ran Delta Rainbow Energy or the Hole Pokemon, as it could be used as double Rainbow Energies. It also benefited from Flygon's Delta Supply Poke Power, as it accelerated energy to Delta Species Pokemon to quickly fuel their attacks. The Water-type Mew also came with 2 attacks, the first being Mimicry, which needed 1 colorless energy to then be able to copy any attack from any of the opponent's Pokemon, which is a better version than the previous Mew attack, as it was not restricted to simply copying the opponent's active Pokemon, but it could be applied to their bench Pokemon as well. The second attack was Rainbow Wave, which needed 1 water energy, and it functioned similarly to the Rainbow Wave attack as the Southern Islands Mew, though in a sense it was actually worse because now it specified that it could only use basic energy cards, so Rainbow Energy could no longer be used, though Mimicry was typically preferred over Rainbow Wave anyway. And like the Fire-type Mew, this one also benefited from the same support in the same decks, so it was possible to see them together. These two Mew cards found their way into a few decks in their formats, though with their low HP and gimmicky natures, they did not see much play. At number 5 we have Mew from Fates Collide. In the era of big EX Pokemon with high HP, Mew could easily be overlooked because of its relatively low 50 HP, but like a lot of other Mew cards, it made up for it with a powerful ability. It had a weak attack in Encounter, which needed a colorless energy to search the deck for any Pokemon, but a great ability in Memories of Dawn, as it could use the attacks of all the player's basic Pokemon in play, meaning that it could copy a lot of the big EX Pokemon in the format without giving up 2 prizes. Though Mew's most notable usage was in the Night March deck, which used small, 1-prize attackers to deal huge damage with their Night March attack, which dealt 20 damage times the number of Pokemon in the discard pile with the Night March attack, meaning that the attack only got stronger as the game went on. Mew's biggest weakness, aside from its low HP, was its reliance on its ability, which could be shut off with Garbodor's Garbotoxin ability, so Field Blower had to be used as a counter to Garbodor's interference. At number 4 we have Mew EX from Dragons Exalted. When it was first released, this Mew did not receive much notice as it was overshadowed by the newly introduced Dragon-type Pokemon in the game. Plus it was seen as too weak, as 120 HP on an EX Pokemon was way too low compared to the powerhouses like Mewtwo and Darkrai. But it eventually found the perfect partners to make a name for itself in the competitive format. Mew EX came with 1 attack and an ability, the attack being Replace, which needed 1 psychic energy to then rearrange energy cards on its side of the field, which was like Shaman Celebration when Pokepower. Though Mew's ability Versatile is what made it stand out, as it gave Mew the power to copy the attack of every Pokemon in play, so long as it had the necessary energy attached. This ability gave Mew a lot of options, though its best use was alongside Excelgor, as it was able to copy its deck and cover attack. And what that attack did was deal 50 damage and then poison and paralyze the opposing Pokemon, though Excelgor would then have to shuffle itself back into the deck. On its own, Excelgor was a mediocre card because it would constantly have to be searched out, and then evolve to continue its attack, but Mew was more easily usable, as it did not need to evolve and could be set up in a single turn. Once Mew copies Excelgor attack and shuffled itself away, it could either promote Gothitelle or Trevenant, as their abilities would lock all item cards from being played, so the opponent had few options to escape the lock. Dusknoir was also played in this deck, as its Sinister Hand ability could move damage counters around on the opponent's side, giving the player complete control over when the opposing Pokemon could be knocked out. This deck was so effective, it saw success at both the 2013 and 2014 World Championships, showing off the power of Mew EX. At number 3, we have Mew from Triumphant. This Mew is a prime Pokemon, part of the series of cards released during the Heart Gold and Soul Silver sets, and were the successors to Level X Pokemon from the Diamond and Pearl sets. Mew came with the Pokebody and a single attack. The attack was called See-Off, though honestly the original Japanese name was way better as it translated to Sending to Hell, which is so metal. Anyways, this attack needed 1 psychic energy, and then would search the deck for any Pokemon and send it to the Lost Zone, a special zone where cards were permanently removed from the game. Mew's Pokebody was Lost Link, which allowed it to copy the attacks of any Pokemon in the Lost Zone, provided that it had the correct energy attached. And in its format, Mew had plenty of viable targets to choose from. It partnered well with Muk, Jumpluff, and Crobat Prime, as they were strong Pokemon that had 1 energy attacks which Mew could exploit with Rainbow Energy. Muk was used to strand heavy Pokemon in the active spot with its Sludge Drag attack, and Crobat Prime could snipe weak targets with Skill Dive. Jumpluff could provide high attack power with Mass Attack provided there were enough benched Pokemon on both sides of the field, and Vileplume was also used to shut off trainer cards to prevent the opponent from switching out their active Pokemon. A variant of this toolbox deck used different Pokemon to also lock away the opponent's resources and could be achieved using Excelgor to paralyze and poison the opponent with its deck and cover attack. And Chandelure could place damage counters on any Pokemon with its Cursed Shadow ability, allowing it to knock out key Pokemon on the bench. Darkrai's Dark Cloak ability gave Pokemon free retreat, letting the player switch easily between Chandelure and Mew. And in another deck, Mew also partnered well with Gengar Prime to take advantage of the Stadium Lost World. As Gengar's Hurl into Darkness attack could be used to send Pokemon from the opponent's hand into the Lost Zone, and once the opponent had 6 or more Pokemon in the Lost Zone, Lost World could win the game, giving the deck a unique win condition. At number 2, we have Mewtwo and Mew GX from Unified Minds. This is a tag team card partnering Mew with its clone Mewtwo, and the two would go on to be featured in some of the best decks in their formats. They came with an ability and a single attack, the attack being Miraculous Duo GX, which needed 2 psychic energies and a colorless to hit for 200 damage, and if they had an extra energy attached, Miraculous Duo would also heal all damage on its side of the field. Its ability was called Perfection, which, like with so many Mew cards before it, would allow it to copy other attacks, in this case the attacks of all EX and GX Pokemon on its side of the field or discard pile, giving it a wide array of attacks to choose from, though it was heavily featured in decks that had access to energy acceleration, such as Fire, Lightning, and Grass decks. In Fire decks, Mewtwo and Mew use Welder to power up, and then they could copy the attacks of Reshiram and Charizard GX for big damage with Flare Strike, Naganadel GX for bench sniping with Venom Shot, Solgaleo GX for added energy acceleration with Turbo Strike, and Latios GX for protection against other Tag Team Pokemon with Tag Purge. In Lightning decks, Mewtwo and Mew could be powered up by Bolt and V, and then they would copy the attacks of Pikachu and Zekrom, as their full Blitz attack could continue accelerating lightning energy to fuel a powerful Tag Bolt GX attack to knock out multiple Pokemon at once. And in Grass decks, Rillaboom would be the energy accelerator with its Voltage Beat ability, and would allow Mewtwo and Mew to use the attacks of Vileplume GX to deal damage with Massive Bloom, or afflict the opponent with various special conditions with Allergic Explosion GX. Pheromosa and Buzzwole GX could spread damage with their Jet Punch attack, or take extra prizes with Beast Game GX, and Dragonite GX can hit for a massive 270 damage with Sky Judgment. This card's versatility let it see a lot of use across the 2019 to 2021 formats, making it one of the most consistently powerful cards. And finally, at number 1, we have Mew EX from Legend Maker. This card was released during the game's 3rd generation of Pokemon, and was played in a variety of decks. It came with the Attack Power move, which needed 1 Psychic Energy and 1 colorless to search the deck for an energy card to attach to Mew, and then it had the option to switch out of the active spot. Its Pokebody was versatile, which is exactly like the previous Mew EX on this list, but this Mew could take better advantage of its power as it had access to better cards in its format. It was mainly seen alongside the main Extric EX, as it could copy its Disconnect attack to lock all trainer cards on the opponent's side, leaving them with few options to play the game. And its Mega Shot attack could snipe weak Pokemon on the bench. Plus, it was also splashed into other decks to give extra attacking options, as the Hoenn Pokemon of the era could provide double Rainbow energies, meaning that Mew EX could essentially use any attack it wanted. However, perhaps its most powerful deck was a Lock deck that did not see a lot of use in official tournaments, as it was slow to use and usually ran out the clock, but when it was properly set up it was nearly impossible to stop. It revolved around Wobbuffet, Minun, Unknown, Roselia, Jinx, the trainer card POW hand extension, and of course, Mew. And how the deck worked was multiple Wobbuffet would need to be set up as evolved Pokemon, meaning that Wynaut had to be played in the deck as well. Because once Wobbuffet evolved, its Pokebody's stages of evolution would activate, increasing the opponent's retreat cost by 1. So with enough Wobbuffet, the opponent would not be able to retreat. Next, either Unknown or Roselia could be used to switch out the opposing active Pokemon with something from the bench, preferably a heavy Pokemon that can't retreat easily. And then POW hand extension could be used to move energy cards away from the active Pokemon, preventing it from attacking or retreating. Minun's Sniff Out attack could repeatedly recycle POW hand extension, allowing it to be repeatedly used until the opponent completely ran out of energy. And once they did, Jinx's Pure Power attack could be used to knock out Pokemon on the bench. Because of the complexity of the deck, it was not widely used, but it is now regarded as one of the most powerful decks that really took advantage of Mew's abilities. With so many options in its format, and being featured in the World Championships, this card embodied the true power of Mew and showed why it's regarded as one of the strongest legendary Pokemon, which is why it has come in at number 1 on this list. Mew has been frequently described as the ancestor of all Pokemon, and has been given the ability to learn every TM and HM move in the games, and this power has been translated well into the trading card game, making Mew one of the most adaptable Pokemon the game has ever seen. Which is your favorite Mew card? Let me know down in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe to catch new videos. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Hoenn Phantom logging out.